of all the maps in G2's pool, Inferno is where these T-sides come through, so it's right that they start right there on the attacking half. Those 3 stars you mentioned, Harry, they are here to play today. m0NESY on his first time on this stage. The debuts have been beautiful for Ilya. He looks to keep them coming, as does NiKo. The head-to-head removes devices. A powerful tool for Astralis gone, and only the Julies remain.
With device knocked out early, that is some serious power removed from Astralis. Consistent voice, the experienced member of this team. Instead, borup has got to deliver a miracle, and he's not set up to win this. He's been spotted out in the apartments. Astralis rotate in, but NiKo's already taken space away, dealt with in the library. As looks to bring Astralis back into the fold here. blameF taking his time. Astralis are not moving quickly. They're clearing everything. G2 could be anywhere. But as they've nullified these options, they know they've got them trapped in the site. G2 have had a lot of time to set up these post plants, to set up these crossfires, and so Astralis have got their work cut out for them. Hunter and JKS ring out with the first couple, and they know that on the back of that, they've won this pistol round. JKS looks to drive that home. And blameF is left saving dual Berettas to open up this second map. It's G2 pick it up right where they left off.
And how many rounds did G2 win off of that T side just by finding 1 kill, 2 kills in the right place on Ancient? Well, we are on the map for that right now. So HooXi's head put to the test on what can be a very potent T side indeed. Fantastic to see NiKo starting off with fighting form, finishing where he left off. And Astralis realizing this may be their final time on this stage if they don't start soon. A force spike comes through. Device on a mag, trying to make some money. G2 avoid it entirely, they stay grouped. The Wolf Pack up to B.
HooXi leads the charge. Ooh, digged out. 1 kill from Stair. The rest of G2 are a little slow to arrive, and he's been allowed to reposition. Oh dear, oh no! Stair in with a double, and now he's got support, now he's got his friends. They've all moved in, and they take the line, take these firing lines to lend a helping hand to Stair. borup just in the nick of time. 1 out of NiKo, sure. Him and JKS have got to cook up the impossible. NiKo doing all he can. NiKo from nowhere. 3 kills in the round as he tries to battle back, and he gets it down in the 1v1.
No
just
way!
Device, missed shot from the man. NiKo! First they knew his name in the LAN cafes, then in the Balkans, and now they know it worldwide! The ace in the second round to keep G2 in this!
Where did that come from? From nowhere. In the mist, in the madness, and a Glock to close a 1v2. You don't see that every day. Decking Device in the final frag. The stars align, but not for Astralis this time. G2, they won that grand final.
Safe to say that NiKo is switched on.
That's a word for it. And he'll be at the forefront of not just the attack, but Astralis' minds as well, in their head.
Man, even the way he's looking to open here, he's playing with real confidence right now. Woo! blameF gonna make him down everything. They made it close with the pistols in the last round. They're looking to do it again. So with NiKo, that hero of the last round, taken out, the first to fall here. Surely G2 can get past just a couple of deagles.
Yeah.
Surely they can, and HooXi looks to make that a matter of fact. blameF swinging, can't win, and so m0NESY and HooXi will safeguard the round. All that worry dissipates. And so G2 get off to that 3-0 start they were looking for. It probably took a few more heroics than they were expecting to get there. But they've done well to save themselves here.
All par for the course. Not falling into fear of the stack. A nice double molly executes. And Astralis' pistols burnt out of position. G2 look to close it and clean it up and spawn as well. And even Hooksy's hitting 1Ds. So Astralis will not sleep good now. Empty round for the Danes. And G2 in fighting form, perhaps in finals form as well. Ents better watch out.
Snake's getting pretty long. With the form he's shown so far, I've wagered to bet that Hunters is bigger. 3-0 for the G2 squad to open. And Astralis, now they come in with their first proper buy here. AWP for Device, brought to the table early.
He has to be the big ticket item here for Astralis, right? If there were ever a man who's been in this position more than once, but not to the betterment of Astralis. Under TSM, under Dignitas, Device has fallen in the semis many times, and it may happen again if NiKo keeps unleashing this beast, this raw aggression back to B, looking for a second. Fortunately, Starecross is in just in time. The smokes come down, locking him alone in the bomb site. Hooksy gets a spot, and he gets a shot. G2 end the round in 2 kills. It's going swimmingly by the script, by the book. And Astralis must play by the numbers as they leave the site.
Device trying to save the AWP from spawn.
Seen this one before.
He'll knock Hooksy out as he attempted to go hunting, and I don't think G2 really feel the urge to even need to take it further than this right now. They can focus on building up their own status in this matchup right now by solidifying the money early on. You'll take a 4 alive, so Astralis going to get out with these guns. And here's the thing, Astralis often play these retake rounds very safely, very much by the numbers. That's the style that blameF likes to call, and that's even more par for the course here on Inferno. But as we go down the stretch, eventually Astralis might need to attempt some of these rounds where they're on the back foot.
Hooksy can be relentless on these T sides, right, though. If you're not going to be able to block G2 out of these B hits, he will keep calling them. He will keep coming back for more, letting NiKo off the leash. And once again, first spawn for NiKo, who's certainly going to take it. Can someone test him? Can someone stop him? NiKo crawls through the smoke. Success every time so far. So it's up to Astralis using strong retake utility or anchoring down with multi-kills. It's a good grenade. And Device awaits that opener.
Ooh, missed shot. Gonna try and play through this.
Yeah.
Throws himself into the fight, but can't elude NiKo. Oh my God, this is so wild. Through the molly, through the flames, not respecting the util, playing with fire, but it might be Astralis getting burned as NiKo puts another on the tally. And that's it, that's the round. 2 kills from NiKo on the entry. And G2 keep it flawless to open up this T side.
Why would they ever relent? Why would they respect? If Astralis are not going to make G2 doubt themselves. And this team is feeling invincible right now. Not just 3 stars showing up on map 1, but NiKo, the guy you require, the guy you desire to perform for G2, playing out of his mind. And now G2, now they go hunting, now they go fishing. Rods out, re-execing back into the A site, Astralis on the clock.
I know this is the full save. No one's even on the bomb. No one was on the bomb for a solid 20 seconds. They want to remove all these guns. They move in right at the end and they knock out 2 of them. That is a big problem for Astralis. They're still going to be able to stomach it. But now they've got to make concessions, and you don't want to make concessions with G2 in this form. with G2 looking this good, with NiKo brimming with confidence.
And the storyline for Astralis, at least it was yesterday, was it felt like they were destined to go straight into those semi-finals as Device sat there so many times, but NiKo is no exception to that rule. Twice under FaZe, finding himself in the semis of Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. All it took was G2 to drag him all the way to the grand final. And not only is that the goal once again for this legendary roster, I'd say they want a little bit more. Astralis being put through the ringer right now. Shaken and startled for the start of this T-half.
What is that semi-final curse in Cologne? Might not be broken. Not unless Astralis can turn this around soon. Look at how paranoid they've gotten about B. Look at how scared they are. They know they need to put a stop to G2's run on this side of the map, but this is going to give HooXi such a big degree of freedom elsewhere. There is one man defending A right now, and that man is Device. Sure, he has his AWP. He has his signature gun, but if the play ends up here, Device is going to have to do it all alone. And if you can't hold B now, if G2 do hit the B bomb site and go into this four-man stack and still come out the victors, what does that mean for this series? If four players can't stop it, nothing will.
But now it's still an if. Even Stair won't swing out early and give NiKo a way in. He beckons, he baits NiKo into the crossfire. Will NiKo bite? Maybe that smoke is an invitation. Oh! A taste of your own medicine, perhaps. Blind fire from Stair takes out the hard hitter of G2, and they must go back to what is now essentially an empty site.
Just Device here. Been here since the start of the round. Has to stand the test of time. Device with the AWP. Oh, finds the man up in the apartments.
Go
Device finds more! And he just keeps on giving. Only Hunter left now. 1v4 and the tides change. Astralis finally cook up the winning solution. Device gets switched on. And that's what it takes for Astralis to find their first. They didn't have a lot to work with in that round there. So an important timing for it.
Yeah, G2 never knew what they were running into, right? They only saw that deagle on the B-bomb site. Device, all on his lonesome, puts up every kill required to guarantee the round for Astralis. And you gotta laugh it off. The Device is just relief. Astralis don't wait forever. But they won't have that AWP this time. No one in position to pick it up. G2 go back to pace into this A site.
They're coming quickly. Device is tucked into a corner here. AK primed and ready to go, but only one kill from Device. Borup in the pit is going to be the guy who's got to rise to the occasion, and he can't. Cancelled out. NiKo making plays, making moves. Astralis at 2v3. And a lot of times they would look to save here. But this might not be one of them. JKS not destined to meet them in middle. Astralis look like they've written this one off, just playing by the numbers again. blameF, a very conservative game being called here, but he knows the 2v3 is so unlikely, it's not worth attempting.
You're believing in your long game. You're believing in your late half, right? That you can suddenly activate, you can put these guns to good use. That you can win rounds you shouldn't, but you need the guns to do it. Blame an important surviving kill. Still, G2 hold their heads high. They can buy around this. That's why the save made sense. They can drop Device in AWP. But once again, required to crack open this can of G2.
And I mean, this was the big worry coming into this series. It's one thing when it's all going according to plan. It's one thing when you can cancel the game plan of the other team, but sometimes that all goes out the window when someone is just having one of those games. And for G2, there's so many candidates that embody that. NiKo is very much the guy here. On this second map.
They're getting locked out of mid, but G2 just say bye-bye. They go back to Banana. Funneled into the scope.
Nice, that final fiber. The legendary Astralis roster. Most experienced man, and so we look at him to be the one to bring Astralis back into this game. There's one kill from his AWP, but gonna need more before all is said and done, because G2, they're unrelenting. They're coming through this smoke. Up into Banana now. Device is trying to make a play. Gonna rely on Stare, drawing some attention off of him. Device and Stare combined for a killer piece. They will spam out Device. blameF gets down off the boost. That gets awkward. They're gonna force them wide, and now G2 are on their way to a bomb plant here.
Hunter's gone hunting.
He wants to get involved. In a 2-on-3, you can't play scared, and so he's trying to make moves to win them the round. He gets into this corner. He knows they've made it all the way through the ruins. That's what JKS has got to try and keep held down. Got to hold his nerve here. Hunter with one, and JKS alongside him, looking to lock it for G2. Just buzz left in this, and Hunter washes over him. G2 are on a tear. Nothing feels impossible. Nothing feels like too much of a big ask for this squad right now. A 2v3 delivered, and they look like the favorites the whole damn time.
These cousins are killers. The Kovac is stepping up massive in this matchup. In a required match for G2 to return to fame, to return to glory, to return to form that we have seen at their peak, at the end of last year, at the start of this one. World Finals into Katowice, and maybe Cologne as well. That is the goal, nothing short for G2. And in this form, they are cracking Cinderella's shoes. That Astralis dream run dying in front of us.
It's in this pressure, it's in this need to dig deep and put a stop to the beasts on the other side. First time of asking for a lot of these Astralis players. It's only recently come to adorn the uniform. This is a test of resilience, your ability to rise from the ashes. Astralis might never be given that chance. G2 set up for an apps pop here. Nothing complex, but they make it look so easy. Mac-10 to open, down into the pit. blameF stands the test of time. Gonna need a bit more out of him before all is said and done.
This is the bomb.
This is rotating in. Bomb looking to get out now on the back of JKS, and he finds that pit player. Deagle up through the short side. Buzz, one kill to his name, and Stare finds one in the meantime. NiKo versus Stare. Astralis hunting desperately for their second round here. And to do that, they've got to take down the big bad wolf of G2, the man looking to end this fairy tale run.
Stare with the read, the hide, and NiKo with the long flank, but will he climb over the graveyard? 30 seconds to find a player or find a bomb. He knows he's here. NiKo huffs, NiKo puffs, but it's Stare who blows his house down. Astralis survive once again. They do it with pistols. Just barely.
At this point in the game, man, you got to take whatever you can get if you're Astralis, and it's in those rounds where you often feel a little freer, the pressure's a little more eased, and so everything just feels weirdly more comfortable, even though you're on the back foot. You play with a sort of blind confidence, and that round showcases it for Astralis. NiKo even baited in. I love that Stair peeked with the deagle first, got his attention, made NiKo bloodthirsty for that kill. And it was only then that he decided to strike with the AWP. A very well played clutch in a tense moment. Would have been very easy to get in your head if you're Stair.
Yeah, we saw some oversteps from Stair, or at least one back on the T side of Ancient. That crucial round near the end of the half where a 2v2, he swings out, he gives it away. And even though Stair put on a fantastic map at the end of Ancient, we need more. We need everyone on Astralis. G2 almost destined to go back to B with the way this game started. Astralis have read it well. 3 starts strong. Hooksy leads the charge. The flashes completely blind Astralis. They must surrender. Oh! Not like that. That's not supposed to happen.
With shots like that, you just feel destined. You feel blessed. In this, the Cathedral of Counter-Strike, NiKo looking to leave his mark.
He's back for more.
Through the molly, tries his hand at more aggression, but now you've just seen NiKo, the guy at B, all the way up long. Astralis, they don't crumble, they don't falter, and they don't take the bait. They find their way into this 3-on-3, but G2 are constantly moving, flowing like water. For a miss spray, and it's ugly. That's given them a route in. G2 are all the way down the short side. They're going to have that route to the bomb plant, and there's not a lot that Astralis can look to do. They will be retaking here in the 3-on-3. Ooh, Device brings the numbers back into Astralis' favor.
JKS, he knows he's got Borup locked in here, very low as well. Not opting to finish the kill, he waits, and that gives Borup time to group with Blame in middle. Device is waiting patiently on the long side, and Hooksy does not have the gun for the job. It's got to be up to Justin. JKS on short porch hits one. Blame trades it out, and now Hooksy hiding out back at the bomb site. Nade lands to perfection, and Blame will finish the job. Astralis again combine for a close and keep themselves in this CT side. It's what the saves were made for.
That's also a bit of a turning point because this marks the first time that Astralis have been successfully able to retake a bomb site in the game so far. Everything else has either been winning to kills straight up, you deny them at that first push, or they were left saving. That's how the bulk of these rounds have gone down. That bomb gets planted and Astralis can't even justify attempting it, but something changes there. They win it on the retake. Device tipped the scales and gave them the confidence to move in.
But with the game we've seen and the way it's played out, this buy doesn't even feel weak for G2 because one gun can do it, and definitely two. Back up B. Bloodthirsty as ever. Blame with a full belt, waits for a fight. Will he force it?
Got to pick and choose your battles carefully here if you're G2. They're trying to get as much of the util out as they can over towards B.
Second nade. They're going to put both these riflers very low. He spotted him, he saw him right below the smoke
NiKo.
stairs, calling into the unknown, and NiKo bites back. Oh, he's lost him. Blame swaps sides in the smoke, and Monacy comes through with the kill. Is it enough? Astralis are here at the door.
Buzz from Spawn, spamming away, 1 kill. And that's enough to bring Astralis back into this round. A lengthy flank up through Banana can start to come into fruition now. Device moving in. Astralis on all ends of this site. Look to close the net now, and with JKS dead, Hunter's got to do it alone. This is not easy. They see him, and Device goes hunting. A second successful retake for Astralis. And the nature of the game starts to change now as they close this gap.
You've got to give it to them for staying in this map with the way it began, with the devastation that NiKo delivered, how clean these opening few rounds were from G2, how lost in the source Astralis looked. The job is far from done. But the necessities are in place. The foundation for a recovery is here. Can Astralis build upon it? Pistols for G2, no hero gun to save them today. but maybe a hero instead.
NiKo with the deagle and a point to prove. Won't find his way in over towards B. blameF. Constantly harassing the top of Banana, refuses to let G2 in. Ooh, Hoopsie gonna get chased down. blameF, a lot of damage on the spray. And G2 are not able to punish this. Not able to get a trade. JKS could find something here, but it's gonna hinge on timings he is not aware of. He'll just hold his ground over in the apartments. It's a fight for Device to win out and close, and now you don't have to worry about this bomb coming back to A. Pistols might accomplish very little for G2 here, as Astralis look to build back in. They take a flawless round, spearheaded by the captain.
Yeah. And a representation of the recovery that Astralis has shown in these last couple, right? It has been the two heavy hitters, the two old boys, experienced players of Blame and Device that have put up multi-kills to keep Astralis in their CT side. Device funneling them away with the AWP, Blame locking them out of B with another multi-kill. G2 have still got a very strong half on this T side, but the momentum is shifting, it is swinging. They don't want to give away a streak this hefty. 4 in a row for Astralis. G2 burn a lot of util at the top of B, and they get limited space from it. So back to greener pastures. JKS not hyperactive in the apartments. Set up to succeed by Hoopsie in middle. JKS looks for a way in, but he's smoked on both fronts. It must come down to, once again, this B-bomb site hit for G2.
And in rounds gone by, Astralis have been padding out this side of the map. They don't have a third man here this time. They don't have that third gun to offer up answers.
Careful!
Yes, tagged in that smoke. His teammates have already started to go, moving in. Hoopsie leads the charge. In behind him, the rest of the team. Hoopsie falls flat, but it's Monacy.
Boom.
Too open, NiKo taking space at spawn in mid. JKS dies, and now NiKo's got to do this alone. This is where he does his best work. He gets it down to the 1v1. borup is shaking in his boots right now. When you see the name you're up against, you know what this guy is capable of, and so borup cannot doubt himself for even a second here. NiKo cuts off all the info. Falls silent, borup on the bomb, borup on the bomb. What if you never gave NiKo the chance? He sticks it! And so that's how Astralis look to level this game up. What if you never give NiKo the fight?
The balls on this kid to go for the stick in an arena, his first against one of the best to ever do it with a rifle.
And dude, for NiKo there, I think it's such fair game that he doesn't peek. You're thinking borup is in his head. You're thinking he feels that pressure. There is no way he sticks a bomb. There is no way he holds that defuse. NiKo was counting on borup doubting himself, and borup never did.
In just a few rounds in a row, Astralis changed the nature of the map we're watching.
The precedent set early on was if G2 got a bomb site, if G2 got the bomb planted, they won the round. But that precedent has changed.
G2 with bombs. It's never let them down before.
3 retakes in the last 5 on this streak for Astralis.
Oh, of course. And that's the most passive opener for NiKo as well, right? He's been moving up into that cubby on Banana every single round, or chasing top with a deep smoke. This time he waits, he reads the swing, and Stare gives it to him. So another relief of pressure for G2 and a 5-on-4, and Borup maybe the next fall, because m0NESY's found him with a pixel shot. One of the first orbs we've seen in this T side. He goes flying out into the site, and m0NESY doesn't need it as he takes down Device.
What a time for m0NESY to find his impact in this series, right? You could kind of feel that NiKo started to get cancelled out across these last few rounds, wasn't finding those same openings, wasn't winning the same clutches. So that's when you have to go down the roster. A star-studded roster for G2, and the timing couldn't be better right as Astralis are having this second wind. m0NESY comes out with a big round, and no scope onto Device. And now for G2, at bare minimum, they've won out the half, but they're looking to sweeten the deal here. They want to try and remove these guns right at the end. One goes off, one gun out, just Buzz left. He looks good to get away. They might just find him, but he's going to survive with that M4 intact. That's something for Astralis here in the final round of this first half.
Yeah, it certainly has consequences here. There's going to be max 3 M4s. Buzz can't drop one over, so suboptimal for Astralis. No AWP for Device. And m0NESY finally makes his sing. Not every day you do that to Device. So G2, a moment where it felt like they were lost, lacking, but now picking back up the pace.
Molly forces NiKo to take a swing here.
He's fine with that.
And he likes it, he thanks them for it. That Molly pushed him forward. That Molly beckoned him in. And it nets the 5v4 for G2. They pump the brakes, they slow it down. Going to give Astralis a taste of their own medicine here as they go back to the drawing board, grouping up over in middle. Hunter, he was fantastic on the opening map for this semi-final. He can find something over towards long. He's looking to make this happen for G2. One man still to beat in the A-hold. It's Borup tucked in. Smoked off at Moto. He tries to get ahead of it, but this gives more room to Hunter, more opportunities for Hunter to get involved. And as he moves through this smoke, that one's free!
Can't save today, Astralis, but too far away to even consider the possibility. A moment of doubt, a moment of opportunity for the Danes, but G2 still come in swinging at the end of the half. They've just got to put a lid on it. 2 frags away. And as Astralis group back up in middle, m0NESY hears the footsteps, come hunting, come hounding, and come knifing, but it's denied by Device. It won't cost them a thing. NiKo's here to ensure the round cannot get weird, and Device will not be given the opportunity nor satisfaction. Right at the end of the half, pollution in the night sky blocks out the stars of Astralis, and G2 are only rounds away from the grand finals of Cologne.
How we doing, Cologne? I'm here with a critical sideline update because the Beer Snake is reaching critical mass here in the Lanxess Arena. Look at this monstrosity. Woo! There may be some structural integrity issues here. There may be some questions about how large it can go, but I see it self-sustaining right now. New cups are being introduced into the fold all the time. Now I know you're an Astralis fan here. You think they can still do it?
I'm hurt, man. I'm really hurt.
He's hurting, but there's something of solace here in the cup, Snake. We got the G2 on the hat. What's the counter up to?
It's my beer counter.
Is that today?
It's yesterday as well.
Okay, we got the 2-day total. 25 though, putting up good numbers. How much of this cup, Snake, is just you?
I think like 10 or 12.
10 or 12. There we go. Moving through, moving on by the Snake. It just keeps going, folks. There's no end in sight. Cologne, can we hear it for the Snake? It just doesn't end. It just doesn't end. Who started the Snake? Who started it? This man right there is signaling to me. No? Over there? Oh my God, this thing is ridiculous. All right. You started it? Right here, hold on. We're going back. You're the progenitor of the Snake over here, right? What inspired this beautiful art creation?
It all started with a sleeping guy, and we wanted to know how high we can get this tower, and it escalated quickly.
Turns out, pretty high is the answer. Who are you pulling for in this match?
For G2.
Pulling for G2? You want to lead one cheer? Can I get a let's go G2?
Let's go G2!
Let's go G2! What about Astralis? Are the faithful still there? Let's hear it one more time for the Beer Snake!
What is your calling?
NiKo believes his calling is to be in that grand final tomorrow. He sits top in the charts right now, 20 kills deep and spearheading this run for G2 through the semi-final. Astralis, there were a couple of glimmers in there towards the end. They embarked on a 5-round streak, but cut down and cut short in its prime, leaves them wanting. They've got a big T-side ahead of them, and blameF better have some serious ideas cooked up here on how to save the day.
His performance has been there, no doubt, across the entire playoff run. Device right by his side, and Buzz silent in comparison to his performance against the Danes of Heroic. Was it a flash in the pan? Was it a one-trick pony? Or can Astralis ride their way back into this BO3? It relies on a pistol.
I feel like the dual Berettas have often fared well, but not in this round.
Okay.
Borup and Buzz are the ones to kickstart this for Astralis. But as is often the case, blameF is not like to keep it as simple as just go on the back of these openers. Now comes the trickery. Now comes the tomfoolery from blameF.
Despite Danish in-game leaders clashing back at B, Astralis don't seem interested in returning to that early site. Buzz drops in, and m0NESY drops in loud and deadly.
Blame can't die here. He's like their only thing that gives them any stake over this B site, and so he won't. Rings out with a kill on a Hooksy back at the spawn. Just like that, Astralis are on their way to a pistol round. Bomb planted and a 2v4. NiKo and m0NESY are the ones still left in this, though.
It's not impossible.
The stars that burn the brightest, going out the quickest. m0NESY falls, and now NiKo left up in it alone. blameF silences him, and it's another big pistol to open up the second half for the captain of Astralis.
Yeah, you say he needs the calls, but what if he's got the kills? Blame. Unforgiving impact in that pistol round. And we talk inexperience on stages for Astralis. That is also in Blame's pocket. He may be HLTV top 20 player 3 years running, but this is only his 3rd stage of this size. G2 denied and forced by.
Well-timed nades, but just dodged by Stare as he sees them fly in over the top of the half wall. There's another one. blameF all the way down the long side. Hunter just underhands this smoke, but they've thrown one in for him, and now he realizes they weren't looking to punish him. So he's going to play behind this. Now, usually Astralis like to roam around the map, but they kind of have to follow through with this A play, and that's not the start they wanted. They've given up all the real estate over at Banana, so all they have is A. All they have is the hope of this A play, and m0NESY's extinguishing that right now. 2 from his Deagle. Astralis can't go back. It's uncharted waters. This is going to take too long to clear. Stare's starting to make those moves now. This all hinges on finding a wrap through the spawn. NiKo lies in wait. His Deagle, a thing of legend. Tag onto device. This is so quickly going awry for Astralis.
Gotta go.
Stare's going to have to come through this. And NiKo lies in wait.
And look what happens when you don't. The crossfire's established, the rotate is in, and Astralis have to call it off. Surely this is done, dead before it even begins. The Deagles of G2 bite back.
This is a heartbreaking call to even have to make if you're Astralis. Every bone in your body wants to say that there's a chance here, but there's not.
Sinking into your seats.
And so it's m0NESY with his Deagle, rising through the rankings already. Since getting onto the CT side, this is where he's going to look to do his best work. This is where he's going to be the most involved. He wasn't required to step up early on. So Astralis take a timeout. But they've been served some early problems here. That gets in the way of this momentum they were trying to build on the back of the pistol, the momentum that they need. They want to make a comeback happen here. It's always blues.
Yeah. A desperate force. Relying on an opening kill more often than not on a map like Inferno. Who can deliver the good news? Or is it a horrific horoscope here for Astralis? Device trying to take matters into his own hands right behind the Molotov boost. Just in time. And Device eats the smoke, he can't commit. Not only stopping him in his tracks, but a loud audible for G2. They know what Astralis were attempting in this round, and as a flash gets set up for blame, maybe a pop right at the end.
Double set up in the right place, right time, and m0NESY will hold the line. Looking to make this round his, looking to leave his mark. m0NESY! 4 kills from the short side, leaves it all on blameF. And m0NESY sure knows how to leave an impression here. What's Blame supposed to do in this 1-on-3? Astralis were all in on this round, so he still wants to give it a go. The G2 have pulled nearly everyone over. Hunter's still down in the pit here, lies in wait, and that's free. blameF doesn't check it. m0NESY does the heavy lifting. And then it's Hunter to close that force buy for Astralis, the one that they were hoping could ignite this early back and forth in the game, could give them something to hold as hope. It's snuffed out by m0NESY. So what a time he's having in this second half. That second round with the Deagle, he's the one that shut Astralis down. Then when they force buy up, he locks them out with a 4K. There is no doubt that m0NESY is a big game player.
He does not feel the pressure one bit, does he? From Academy to Tier 1 in a matter of months. A trajectory incomparable with any player, and the performance to back it up on the biggest of stages. For this, it's just eco, it's just an ease for G2. Keep it clean and keep them coming.
For Astralis, this means that they've got to find success in their first rifle round. If they don't, when the guns come out now, if this one falls short of the mark, falls short of expectation, G2 have got that grand final teed up. It's right there, and it's ripe for the taking.
And frankly, that's exactly what we want right now if G2 are going to keep up this form into tomorrow. And a complete threat inside of the group stage into the playoffs against Vitality. A worthy opponent. And a NiKo in fighting form. Two teams with notches already on the Intel Grand Slam.
Fight over towards Banana. Stare. Good time for him to find the opener, but can he get any more? The nades rain in. They make life awkward for him. Things are heating up for Stare. Drops the smoke, but tries to play ahead of it with the flashbang, and that's when NiKo gets his revenge. 4-on-4 now, and Astralis, the only real estate they're left with is this presence over in top mid. Last time we saw them in this position, it forced them into an A play, and they ended up running out of time in the 2v4. m0NESY once again repels this play out through the long side.
And NiKo's back just in time. Even getting curious, this could break Astralis to drop his loud buzz. Inexperience caught out as Hunter re-aggresses for the lurker. He saw what he did to Heroic, and Hunter will allow none of it. Device needs to break back onto NiKo. He is all that stands in this site. Blame nowhere to be seen, back in spawn, waiting for a mistake. G2 won't give it over. Even NiKo won't make a move. He waits for his teammate, and they strike together. That might be the round. Said, done. But Blame
doesn't attempt these. Blame doesn't like attempting these. He's not going to. 15 seconds and he'll call the save. So for Astralis, this is all they're left with to try and stop an unstoppable force. G2. Finger to the pulse. Finger on the trigger, and they're not slowing down. They're building, they're getting better the longer this goes on. The deeper we get. The only round they've dropped in this second half was the pistol, and they immediately picked up the second. Since then, it's been all G2. And so the semi-finals curse for Device. Looking to remain consistent.
It would be great form for G2 to close this out cleaner than Ancient. That got hairy at the end. Their T-side was lacking at the start. Astralis was steam. But G2 have not let them into this half. That's all to the benefit of m0NESY starting the CT side strong. Post pistol. And back for more in Banana on the smoke fade. Retakes the entire angle. Astralis want it back. They're going to have to fight for it. It might cost them their life. And so they renege on their deal and regroup back in ult.
These slow burning rounds right now are not uncomfortable for G2. They've got all the info. m0NESY is posted with this AWP at Banana, and sure, they flash him off the angle. They know that he's there.
They gotta go.
This now means you've got to start reacting to that info. You've got to pick up the pace out into middle. Astralis fixate their sights on the A play. JKS down in the pit. Sees them on the short side, lights up the first man in. JKS might be blind, but HooXi delivers. Hunter from the site backs him up, and now it's just blameF. This hero gun thrust into the clutch, and on the cross, m0NESY locks out blameF. You will not be the hero today.
He makes the most of every moment on this stage, doesn't m0NESY? In no hurry to end it, but end it with ease he shall.
And what's so wild is just how this series has flowed, how in the first half it was all NiKo. He sat 20 kills deep where his teammates were still lagging behind in single digits. Now you have m0NESY uplifting G2 on this CT half. NiKo's barely even had to lift a finger.
Doesn't that feel good for a change? He was a monster in the group stages. Not a map in the red. Stare on a smoke spam. It gets interesting, but HooXi still creeps through. Oh, trading nades. Could be signing your own death warrant. HooXi escapes before the spam comes back. G2 abandon banana. The final attempt, the final hit for Astralis on a 4-buy. Without a bomb plant, they'll be left to scraps in the next. They must make the most of this opportunity.
Something's got to give. Someone's got to get this opener. Slow, it's measured. The bomb's still back at T-ramp. blameF's going to go grab that now.
40 seconds. 2 smokes, 2 flashes. Bottom of the barrel.
This is playing it down to the wire, man. Yeah. This is leaving yourself no margin for error.
What a massive reaggression. NiKo's clearing out the entirety of it at 30 seconds. You peek banana, you win the round. You know what's going on. Astralis are funneled into the death.
m0NESY, he is the death. He is the guy. He is that man. 1 kill from the AWP. And m0NESY waits for more. Astralis, it's not just time they're up against, it's this beast at the back of the site with the AWP. JKS and Hunter finish the deal, and G2 1 round away. Astralis have got nothing left, and we're finally seeing the limits of blameF. You're seeing the limits of this Astralis squad unfurl right before your very eyes.
Yeah.
Every move that G2 has made here, as we've continued down the stretch, has seemingly perfectly countered Astralis. The flash, the re-aggro back in a top banana with just under 30 seconds left, and G2 knew everything.
And the silence of these stars is deafening for Astralis. The hero of yesterday in Buzz, 6 and 15 on a new look team for Astralis. And no one expected them to make it this far, but this will be the end of the line. Device destined for semis and Lanxness and no further. Never able to beat the brunt of the stage.
G2 just want to go for the throat. As far as they're concerned, this has been a long time coming. It's been a long time calling. Their destiny's always been in the grand finals at Cologne. So now's the time to realize that dream. NiKo flashed in for a fight at top banana. Once again, this guy, the info he's been getting, sure, they've not been fighting him. They've been largely dodging NiKo. But in staying out of his line of fire, they find themselves in m0NESY's, in Hunter's, in JKS, who finds one. m0NESY pushing through, silenced by blameF. And so now it is just Hunter. The bomb is away from Astralis, but they're going to be allowed to grab it. G2 opposing for a retake right now.
They've got everything they need to go for it. Players in position, time delayed as Astralis yet to retrieve this bomb. And fights available still in mid. Stare out on an island on his lonesome. Nades come in. Still this bomb yet to go down for Astralis. They desperately want to kill. G2 dunk their util in. Stare awaits. And as the smoke is down, so is the bomb.
Util out for Hunter. He's got one flash and a smoke to try and make this play happen. They're going to assemble the boost. They let NiKo be that first incision. Stare looks to make a play. Hunter cancels it out. Is he really believing in the 1v2? Well, Device doesn't seem to think so.
Their first round since a pistol. Their first taste of success in this T side. The question is, will it be their last?
It's a long road ahead of Astralis. If they ever wanted to come back here for G2, it's a short walk into the grand finals. And this is the scariest scoreline I have versus a team like G2. Sure, these impossible comebacks, they've happened before, but you know that one star-studded performance, one moment of brilliance from a NiKo, from a m0NESY, and that's it. Your time in the cathedral is ripped out of your hands.
Oh!
Stair moves in, deals with NiKo, but it's HooXi to trade, and just like that, B is no longer a problem. G2 are starting to siphon players around, but they realize Astralis have loved this A site. Astralis keep doing this, faking out over towards Banana early and then finishing on A. And so HooXi makes the decision. In the freedom of a 15-8 scoreline, he says, I have B. So he gets left there alone. But Astralis are now changing their tune, and in this moment, Hunter re-aggresses middle. He gets that info that top mid is clear. Bit by bit, G2 are painting a picture of this round. There's not many options left anymore, and as the util reigns in, HooXi is that only line of defense over towards B.
Even 1-for-1's not enough, but Hunter, he picks up the lurk. The first to fall. Astralis make their way into the site. HooXi allows it, he spams back through the smoke, he stays alive for the retake, and this is one that G2 certainly should consider. No late lurks, JKS assures them of that. But they're on the clock, that's a fact. Smoke goes over, m0NESY can set up the rifles.
That's going to cut out Device. He kind of has to go play ahead of that now. And so that's going to force him into these awkward engagements as G2 move through the spawn. Device scoped up, can't see the close player, but he flicks back in time. blameF has got his back. Astralis might be able to hold on. blameF deleted. It's going to fall to Device, trying to make this happen. Oh! He gets him off the bomb. And one more round. Astralis will stay alive.
It was done. It was dead in the water. They were defusing. And Device creeps through the mist.
That's a play where he forgets about the glory. He plays for the round win. He plays to deny that bomb, and he plays it to perfection. Astralis lose everything. That's the material cost of that round. It brings them back into the game mentally. But they don't have a lot to work with. Looking to the future for G2. They're facing their own money problems. This is going to be a scrappy round for both teams. This is set to be a brawl, a handful of weapons for G2. They're going to be teed up, trying to make plays early. It's Hunter, m0NESY, and NiKo, that terrifying triangle of the G2 squad.
And you're not short of playmakers. The late re-aggressions, G2 have had info, they've had opportunity. They just need one more. HooXi takes the hit. And m0NESY takes mid. One misstep can cost you everything. And Hunter is here to provide. That sinking feeling of realization for Astralis creeping through the brains of two. They rely on their team to get back into B. And G2 close the door. It's just about not making a mistake.
I think this was the worst possible way the round could have started for Astralis. That doomsday clock ticks closer and closer to midnight for Astralis. Stair tries to make a play. Stair, at this point, all you've got is plays to make. And as he roots through the ruins, coming in on this backstab, he might get there just in time. HooXi dies, sure, but it's NiKo, the man that was teed up to try and win this. And NiKo will! The clock strikes midnight on Astralis' Cinderella story. For Device, lifting the trophy in Cologne will always be a fairy tale. The big bad wolf in NiKo on the other side moves into the grand